What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to another Gentleman Juggcast. This is episode 62. How you doing, boy?
I'm good.
Make sure you check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the other stuff. Like, subscribe, do all the things the other YouTubers tell you to do. We got a movie to talk about this week, son. What is that movie called?
Valhalla Rising.
This movie is called Valhalla Rising. It was a request given to me by my good subscriber and close friend, Struggle Boxing. Go check him out on his YouTube channel. He plays some games and it's great times. Good times will be had by all. He suggested this movie, son, and we're going to talk about this movie. Because, as you said, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. I have absolutely no knowledge of this movie. And by the way, if you guys want us to review a particular movie, go ahead and send us a request of a movie. I mean, we're going to keep going with our schedule that we have and we'll fit your movie in. But let us know what you want us to review and we'll take a look at it.
Whatever it is.
Just like this. You know, I mean, like we predominantly feature superhero movies.
Yeah, so you can ask us about Morbius.
That's what we talk about.
We talk about Morbius.
And this movie is, I guarantee it's not a superhero movie. I don't know what to call this movie. I don't know what to even call this, but
it is the movie.
It is a movie. I mean, it's not awful. Let's get into this, okay? All right. Apparently this movie came out in 2009 and it cost about $5.7 million to make. It made $731,000. You know, so they just went ahead and threw about $5 million into the trash.
Well, that's all right. It was all worth it, I'm sure.
We got Mads Mikkelsen in this movie. This is, I gotta say, probably like a couple years after Casino Royale. I don't remember what he was in between this movie and Casino Royale, but I do remember loving that he was in Casino Royale because he was great in that movie. Never seen him before, and here he is in this movie. He's playing the character named One Eye.
Because he has one eye.
This movie starts with the words Part 1. And of course, you know, I'm not a fan of the Part 1 nonsense when they put that in movies. It makes you think that the movie is like way more epic than it actually is. I think the only person I feel that could do this kind of thing is Quentin Tarantino because he does it in a lot of his movies.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill, which is excellent.
Best. One of the best.
I like it. So a kid is walking with a bucket of water and then there's a lot of atmosphere, you know, just showing a lot of visual stuff. You know, I don't know how to explain it. You got something to say?
I mean, like, they're setting the scene for what's about to be an Oscar-worthy movie.
I think they are setting the scene. They pull a guy out of a cage. Then there's a battle. This guy and another guy, they fight.
And we get a spear.
One loses. And then there's more atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just like fighting and then just music and then people just staring and scary stuff and flashbacks. The land turns red and then it's light, some birds, something, symbolism.
I don't know what the symbols are supposed to mean. And then another fight happens and a guy gets his throat ripped out. Fatality, I guess. More atmosphere.
And just my favorite thing is how like they'll show like the guy in the cage that's been fighting, and then they just had the other guy. I'm saying this because they don't have names. He looks into the cage and he just stares at him, and like they're just playing scary music as he looks at him, and they just keep going.
It's like the weirdest stare too. They just like look at each other. You're like, what the hell are you? Like if somebody's looking at me like that, like what in the hell are you looking at? What are you looking at?
It's like all sideways and stuff. I'm like, what is this?
What are you looking at? At this point, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I have no idea.
I was like, it's all right. This is probably just the intro. After this, we're going to get like a big story or something.
There's more atmospheric imagery, and at this point, 10 minutes of this movie has gone by. I don't know why it felt like an hour.
It felt like
but
an
it
hour.
did. Okay? So then our guy, One Eye, is taking a bath, and he just happens to like find an arrowhead under the water that he's in, and he takes it with him, and it's also sharp. So cool. Then cut to two men talking about the gods. Cool.
Because why not? He's like, you believe in your God, and we believe in our God.
And then our main character, One Eye, is fighting someone else to make money, but he's also being tortured, I guess.
And then more symbolism. Every time he gets tortured, we get like the red flashback showing him or something.
Like an upside down sky, like a close up on his face. I don't know what is happening here. So I guess the story starts to move forward when the guy ends up. I don't know if they're taking him from point A to point B. I don't know what they're doing, but he has the arrowhead that he found in his mouth. And since they black bagged him and made him walk, this entire distance with like a bunch of other guys, he, underneath his little cloak and black bag, he pulls it out, cuts himself free, and then proceeds to kill all the guys.
Except the kid that was there too.
Yeah.
Who's just randomly here.
I don't know why the boy is there.
I mean, he's just looking at him while he's killing people, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, so the last guy that he left alive, he, I guess, beat him up and tortured him.
And then he ripped
his stomach out, and then that was it. Part 2. Our hero is walking, and the boy is following him. And then, like, the hero stops walking, turns around and sees the boy. The boy sees him, and then he continues walking. I guess they're traveling together now. I'm assuming that's what that meant.
I suppose.
And then, at some point, he's just sitting. Like, does he even ever sleep? More symbolism, more imagery. Like, what is going on here? Seriously.
It's like he sits down, they're like, look at this. He sat there all day. It's nighttime now.
Yeah, I'm like, did he sit there in that one spot, not blinking all day?
And like they just kept showing the flashbacks of him in the past or something. With
Is it in the past?
I don't even know what it is. It's just like random.
So then we come across One Eye coming across some Christians. So that kind of gives me the idea that we're in the time period of the Crusades.
Perfect for Valhalla.
Well, I mean, the Christians of the time were trying to spread the gospel of the Lord at the time by going out and killing everybody who didn't agree with them, and then making the people who survived believe in Christianity. So that's basically what's happening here. But One Eye doesn't talk. Matter of fact, he hasn't said a word this whole time. And they're like, hey, where are you from? And he just stares at him. And I guess the boy can, he can psychically be linked with One Eye.
Superpowers.
Somehow, because he speaks for One Eye, and they're like, does that boy speak for you? And he's like, just looking at him like, yeah, he speaks for me. He's looking at him. I'm guessing he's saying, yeah, he speaks for me.
And the boy's like, this man came from hell.
Yeah, where'd he come from? Oh, he came from hell. Like, okay. All right.
On the other side of the ocean.
So they're like, hey, look, we're going to see if we can get this guy who just showed up to join us on our crusade to spread the Christianity throughout the land in New Jerusalem. They try to recruit him, and I guess he says yes in some way, shape, or form. Part 3. One Eye's been traveling with these Christians. There's more atmosphere, more imagery. And at this point, this is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It feels like 3 hours has gone by, son.
Yeah, and like they get onto this boat and they sit on this boat for a long time. Like it feels like half the movie took place on this boat.
On this boat that apparently, I don't know why they got on the boat in the first place, but
they did.
They got on there, and I guess they're thirsty, but they're not in the sea.
See,
they're not in the sea at all.
So like they drink the water.
So, one guy drinks the water, and then the next scene he's dead.
I just like how on this boat it's all like dark and stuff, and then they just have all this imagery and all these flashbacks over and over again, and then just people staring at One Eye, and then he's just looking at them, and then he's not sleeping, and then he is asleep, but then he sees more flashbacks and nightmares.
Why are you looking at me? I'm looking at you, but you're looking at me. Yeah. Looking at you. I don't understand what this is.
I don't know what this boat ride is. Maybe you just needed Mimir to make it better. He could have told the story or something.
I don't know. So I guess at some point in time, one of those guys feels that One Eye really is from hell, and that he is taking them to hell. And so he says, "Hey, why don't you get this? Why don't you go up there and kill him?" Some guy says to another guy, "Hey, go kill One Eye." And so he's like, "All right." So he goes to try to kill One Eye, and then One Eye kills him and throws him overboard. Now all the other guys are like, "Oh snap, we got to kill One Eye." But the lead Christian, he's like, "No, what'd you think was gonna happen?"
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay, so they're just sitting there, just like, on the boat some more. And then One Eye wakes up and he's like, "You know what? I need to get a drink." So he gets some water, takes a drink, and turns out it's fresh water. I don't know how he knew that, but turns out it's fresh water and he didn't die. So now everybody else can drink water, so they're fine.
He just drinks it randomly.
Yeah, just like, everybody's like, "Hey, we got water. We have water. Oh my God."
And like they just start showing people just drinking it, and like the one guy that we know has been watching One Eye just drinks it too, and he's like standing up or something.
We're saved. We're saved. Part 4. So we find out that we're on a river, I guess. Neat.
We're still in the boat.
Yeah. They walk in the woods. I mean, there's tension here, but I guess there's tension. But no, I don't know. It feels like somebody's watching them. Then one man is alone. He hears something and then walks off and then ends up missing. All of a sudden, the men here don't think they're in the Holy Land or any land anyway. They don't know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? What have we done? Don't know. So back to the boat. They're all trying to figure out what's going on because now they're missing. They're down, like at this point they're down 3 people.
No, well, I guess we must keep going.
Yeah, we got to keep going, I guess. And then all of a sudden, one guy takes an arrow to the chest.
Because why not?
And he starts screaming. And everybody's like, "Shut the fuck up! Why are you screaming? Shut up!"
It's like he's dying. Like, shut up.
I don't know why I don't know what's happening in this movie, son. Part 5.
And like we still don't know who even shot the arrows.
Who shot the arrows? They didn't come out of nowhere. So I don't know what's happening here at this point in the movie. I've been watching this movie the whole time, son. I have no clue what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like everybody's just going crazy. All of a sudden there's like random scenes of people just like looking at stuff. One guy's getting his face shoved into the mud.
And then
One Eye is freaking stacking rocks.
He's just stacking rocks and like they start playing scary music. Like they're like psh, 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 and like he's stacking rocks. And then you got this guy like, "Ah, wake up!" And he's like pushing him into the mud. He's like, "Come on!" And then
he's like fucking him right into the mud. Is what it looks like. I don't know what this is. Another guy standing in the water holding his sword. Somebody's like, it seems like they're like somebody's head's about to explode.
It's like it just randomly went from like 0 to 100 super fast, and I don't even know why. What happened?
I guess they think it's hell for real. I don't know what's happening here.
But I think the best part is how One Eye just keeps stacking rocks, and then it falls over, and we're like, "Oh no!"
But he finally got it.
And then he stacked it again.
He got it.
It's like everyone else is like dying or whatever, and he's just stacking rocks.
Yeah. So,
and then the boy's just like sitting in the woods. He's not really doing anything.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there.
He's like, eh.
So then, cut to the guy who kind of just wandered off into the woods. He shows up with no clothes, and he's covered in mud all of a sudden. And he's saying that One Eye is saying that they are in hell. That he can hear, like the boy can hear, what One Eye is saying. And I'm thinking, okay, are these guys dead? Can somebody tell me what is happening? Okay, because I'm guessing. I don't know what's going on. And then one of the one of the group, they attack One Eye, and he defends himself.
And kills him.
And he kills him, yeah. And so I thought they were dead, and now I'm for sure that at least that guy is dead.
And then him and the boy just leave. And then the other guy's like, "Where are you going? This is supposed to be my New Jerusalem. I will build New Jerusalem."
Part 6.
And then, like, now in this part, I guess the other guy's friend, I'm saying other guy because we don't get their names. He's like, "You can't build here. We're leaving." And he gives him a hug, and then he gets stabbed. And then he's like, "You stabbed me." And then he walks away, the guy who got stabbed, and he just kind of shakes it off and keeps going.
He shakes off a stabbing.
And he follows One Eye. And then One Eye and the boy are like walking up this hill, and then a random guy just shows up, and he's like, "I'm gonna."
He's like, well, he was part of the crew, but I don't know where he went, and now he's back.
He's back.
So, he's like, I guess I'm gonna follow you guys too.
They played scary music like he was gonna like kill them, but instead he just helps the boy get back up, and he's like, "All right, we're all walking with action music, I guess."
Yeah. So they get to the very top of a mountain, and then the guy who just came out of nowhere is like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back down." That's what he says. I guess I'm gonna go back down. And the guy who got stabbed is like, "I'm just gonna stay here." So One Eye and the boy just keep on walking.
And the guy who's gonna build the New Jerusalem, he got killed by an arrow.
3 arrows.
In the
They
water.
just came out of nowhere.
While he's like in the water doing his thing.
Self-baptizing or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Then 3 arrows just bip bip bip. He just got bipped by 3 arrows.
So no New Jerusalem for him.
Yeah, it's over. I don't know what I'm watching, but then One Eye keeps walking and the boy follows. He gets to an edge of another cliff. He stops. He turns around, and there's an entire Indian tribe right behind him.
And they all got like bows and arrows and stuff. And I was like, oh, so these are the guys who shot him, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe it is them, maybe it wasn't, but they were hidden this whole time.
It's like 20 of them. I can't take 20 people. It's not with this axe. So, I'm just going to go ahead and let them kill me. I've had it. So he just walks up and lets them hit him with their weapons, and then they beat him to death. And I'm like, oh, wow, the boy, he's going to be next. And
it's like, nah.
Nah, son. We're just going to go ahead and leave. So now the boy is completely alone.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I'm sure he'll be fine. And then they leave, and then we get to see like a small picture of One Eye in the clouds. And then that's the end. That's the end of the movie.
He was in the clouds.
Well, it's just like I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I thought he was from hell.
I don't know what this means, son. Okay. I have no idea what any of this movie meant.
So everybody died and the boy lived. That's the main
This
story.
is an hour and a half of a movie that we are not going to get back. Okay? I don't know why this movie was suggested to us, but damn it, we reviewed it.
Now it's time for the sequel, Two Eye.
I don't know. Well, that's not even the name of the movie. The movie was Valhalla Rising.
But it had nothing to do with Valhalla Rising.
I thought there was going to be like some Viking stuff.
I thought I was going to see like Odin.
Like something.
Thor.
Something. But I don't know what this was supposed to be.
It's just an excuse to get me to play God of War again.
I really think, and I said this while watching the movie, I think that somebody had an idea about a movie and they just had to get it out. And this is what they turned in. They're like, I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. And they got it out, and it made 0 money. It just wasted a bunch of money. That's all it did. So, what do you give this movie, boy?
A 1.
I mean, how could I not give it a 1?
Oh, you think I'll be like, it's a 5. It's a masterpiece.
I think they were trying to go for something like that. Like this was supposed to be like some kind of Oscar bait movie. The way it was shot, I don't know what they were doing. I've said I don't know like probably a billion times.
I wonder if it's called Valhalla Rising because One Eye rise into the clouds at the end.
I don't know son.
He died in battle because they killed him. You see,
there's no way this movie doesn't get a 1. Good choice, Struggle. So, look, if you guys got more movie reviews that you want us to check out other than what our normal schedule is, which is mostly superhero movies, shoot me a link. Not a link. Shoot me a line. Whatever. However you need to get it. You think you can get me that information. Get me that information in the comments. On Instagram. Whatever you want to do. And please check us out on Facebook. Check us out on. Why do I keep saying Facebook? I don't care about Facebook. I really don't care about Facebook, y'all. Twitter, Instagram. That's what I keep trying to say. Click the bell icons. All that stuff that the other YouTubers tell you to do. Do all that shit. I guess keep track of us because the next one will be available
when it's ready.